on this computer.
Okay, Parasha.
Okay, so the pasuk says, I'm taking a chumash on the Parasha Chav Dalet. It's important to see in the word because everything will play in the word of the pasuk here. So we know Eliezer goes, he has Kvid Saderech, he's asking, he's davening HaKadosh Baruch Hu to send him. Let me see, how to make it bigger. He's asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu to make him to meet right away a girl that he would ask to, to give him water, and she would give him and ask also to give to his camels and so forth. So now we're here at the meeting. He's meeting Rivka. He's seeing Rivka, and she goes to the well to get the water, and he sees the water coming up to her, and he starts wondering what's going on here, because waters don't come up to just anyone. The water represents the dinim. In other words, the water represents, let's say, the Yetzer Hara. Since when someone stumbled the Yetzer Hara, say, "Oh, let me pick you up. Let me help you. You're not going to fall." Talking about someone of stature already. So he's asking her for a drink, and the pasuk is going to go the back and the forth, describing every move she's going to do, every part. So vatemaher, exactly how things are happening. She's rushing. She takes down the jug. She pulls it into, that thing that the animals drink from, the shoykes. The only time that word said in the Torah. She goes back. She puts it back. She takes water from the well. She brings it back. Okay, I understand something is going on here, but we're not expecting what Rashi is going to tell us. So in Pasuk Chav Beis, it says, Vayhi. Vayhi, Gemara in Megillah says, Yud Amud Beis, that always it's a Lashon Tzar. Something bad is going to happen here. Should I know about it? It's going to be talking about a shidduch, and the shidduch is going to happen. So what's so bad about it? Ka'asher kilu hagemalim lishtois. You want to tell me what? That the camels have drunk? So say they have drunk. Ka'asher shasu hagemalim. Save me words. What do you mean ka'asher kilu hagemalim lishtois? In other words, you go like this instead of going straight to the point. If your point is to tell me that they're drunk, so tell me ka'asher shasu hagemalim. Don't tell me anything else. Pasuk keeps on going. Vayikach ha'ish. So the person, God forbid if we mention the name of Eliezer in this whole Parasha, like we try to avoid him here. He's not mentioned anywhere. So Sara Imenu, we talk about her and her ptira in a pasuk and a half. Here about watering camels. Look how much we're going to talk about. Details of details. And in a very strange way. So Vayikach ha'ish nezem zahav. He took a nose ring. Okay, it's great to know it's gold. Beka mishkalui. He had the weight of a beka. You want to tell me also if he was yellow gold or white gold? Ushnei tzemidim, and 2 bracelets al yadeha on her hand, asara zahav mishkalam. They had the weight of 10 shekel of gold. What do we get out of all this? That basically, that after she finished helping him, He gave her, some presents. Torah has to spend so many words to tell me something so simple. The Zohar in Parasha Baloischa says, whoever says that the Torah says stories, Tiparch Ruchoi, his ruach should come out, he should die. The Zohar curses him. He says, Torah is emes, and always come to teach us something. All right, you come to teach us something. Let's look at the Rashi, the pshat of the pasuk. First pshat of the pasuk, he says, Beka remez leshikle Yisrael beka lagulgoyres. Why is he gave her a beka? Like he made it on that time, at that time, in order to give her a hint that the Bnei Israel in Parshas Kisisa, we're going to have the mitzvah of machatzis shekel. Really. Makes a lot of sense why we said all these words. Nezem Zahav, he gave her a nose ring, Beka Mishkaloi. To tell me, you know why it's weighed a Beka? Because your children one day will be ordered to give machatzis shekel. She's 3 years old. What are they telling her? But that's not it. Rashi keeps on explaining, as Sara Zahav Mishkalam, the two bracelets were 10 shekel weight of gold. Remez le'aseres hadiberos shebahem. It's a remez to the 10 commandments that in it. He's just giving her, oh, sorry, I skipped on Rashi. Ushnei tzemidin, white 2 bracelets. For what she did, you would give her a bracelet, it's a great payment. Oh no, it has to be like shnei luchos mitzumados, like 2 white tzemidim, 2 connected luchos. And asara zahav, why they were overweight of 10 shekel, to hint us the 10 commandments. Really. These words of Rashi cannot be explained. Where did Rashi get it from? Midrash says, tremendous Midrash, just to situate who was Rivka. The Midrash says that there were 4 Nisim in the Oyhel of Sara while she was alive. There was an Anon on the Oyhel. The Shechina was always there, and it was visible. She was so great, Sara Imenu. The doors were always open. There was bracha in the dough, and the ner that she lit on Erev Shabbos used to light all the way till the next week. Never went off. And these 4 things stopped happening once Sarah was niftar. As soon as Rivka came to the Oyhel of Sarah, the Anon came back, the doors were open, there was bracha in the bread, there was in the Isa, and the ner remained lit from one week to the other. This is Rivka Imenu basically redoing what Sara Imenu did at a much older age, just to show you the greatness of Rivka. Okay? So tell me again what Rashi said, but we're going to take it from the Midrash. The Midrash says, right here, the Midrash on the spot. I was amazed that there's no Zohar on this. I was sure I'm going to find an explanation, through the nothing. Not one Zohar talks about it. I said, okay, so let's stay with the Midrashim here. Let's see what's going on. But the Midrash says, once, when the camels finished drinking, Are we talking Rab Huna b'shem Rab Yosef? Rab Huna, that is all over the Gemara. This is what he's saying. There was one gemstone on it, on the nose ring, that had a weight of a beka. It was tremendous weight. It's the weight of a machatzis shekel. For a gemstone, just this. Ushnei tzemidin. So he's saying a bit differently. Keneged shnei luchos. That for the purpose of the shnei luchos that we will receive, and the Sara zav keneged aseres adibros. So he gave her accordingly to what Abnei said. What's the connection? She did a tremendous maaseh chesed, no denial on this. The pasuk, the Torah is made, testifies on it that she run. That's what we're gonna learn here, how to do chesed. How is chesed is done, even though it's beyond your strength. I'm talking to my own ears, actually, because this, I don't need to teach anyone, I can teach myself. And it's just tremendous what Rivka Imenu is coming to teach us here. Tremendous, tremendous. We're only at the bottom of the hill here. The Rabbi Chayei comes and emphasizes this even a bit more. It tells you, why Beka, this word that you don't know, Beka, which means a portion. Beka is letter Kuf Ayin Beis, 172. You know how many words? How many words there are in the Aseres Adibros? There's 172. I mean, did we need another hint about the Aseres Adibros? We don't even understand the first. Do we need a second one? And now, Rabbeinu Bar Chayei, you're taking the Beka, the mitzvah of Machatzitza Shekel, you're mixing it up now with the Aseres Adibros, you make it even more complicated. What's going on here with the chesed of Rivka? The Moshe David Valley, the Talmud of Reb Chaim Vital, and the Rav of the Ramchal, I always tell you about this, gives two explanations here. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu does something, he does it fully. Never does half an ace. So once he saw right away Eliezer that this girl was a big tzadekes, not only she was a tzadekes, but her actions showed a meaning that she didn't do it for him, she didn't do it for the camels, she did it for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he was louder than words. He could see through the action that she knew her action in order to do certain things. We're going to understand what these certain things mean. So he figured, obviously HaKadosh Baruch Hu brought her from the right mishpacha, because all the mefarshim asking, he didn't even ask her if you're from the mishpacha of Avram, but he felt confident that to give her such a big amount, because obviously she had to be from the right mishpacha. We know that the story of the well. We've been seeing it, we talked about it quite a few times. Be'er, I told you many times, it's 203. When the bracha comes out, Bane Chayei Mezoine. Everything comes from the Be'er. Children, life, meaning health and everything, and Parasha, always from the Be'er. And when he saw Eliezer, that the bracha comes to her, usually you go ask for a bracha. That's what the meaning of the mayim coming up. She didn't even have to ask, it's coming up to her, the bracha. So it means the Shechina is very acquainted with Rivka Imenu, so automatically Eliezer understood that here lies a person that's beyond the scope of his davening. He figured I'm going to get a girl, from Lavan's family, can ask for too much, can look for too much in the background. However, he's seeing that he's getting beyond a Sara Imeni. And this is where it says mishtoi. Mishtoi is almost, I'm getting mad from what I see. It's incredible to the point where I'm losing my mind. So what happened? If you look in the pasuk, it's gonna say, the Torah is gonna point that Vatemaher, she rushed. She didn't take her time. I'm doing you a favor. Let me do it at my pace. I want to be relaxed. No, that's not how we do chesed, not the relaxed way. It's difficult, yes. Oh, you 3 years, or how are you going to do for so much? That's HaKadosh Baruch Hu's problem, not yours. So the Torah is going to count, interestingly, the back and forth. So almost like to tell me, this is a mitzvah and this is a different mitzvah. I don't know what apparently the Torah wants from us. Okay, maybe the mitzvah is to have helped a man that was thirsty. No, the mitzvah is broken down to your efforts. It's not what you have done to the other mitzvah. It's how you have done the mitzvah. That's the insight, that's the power of chesed. Vatemaher, vateret kada. Vateret kada, I mean, she rushed and she brought back, she put back the jug, obviously. If you're going, you poured your jug already to fill, to give water to one camel. I know it's empty. Now you put it back on your shoulder to walk back to the well, fine. You have to tell me the Torah that she took it down? Really? Is that so important that she took it down? Maybe that, she filled it. It's heavy. Maybe that's an effort, but taking it down from the shoulder too. You're not going to say it once. You're going to say it twice. So obviously the Torah wants to tell us something here. It's, if you take just these extra words, which are basically meaningless, Vatemaher vateret kada equals 1,290. Yud K, 15 times the Shem Elohikim. He was seeing that the way she was acting, as she was dealing with something much deeper than just giving him water. It equals also these words, ner neshama. Two ner neshama, twice ner neshama, exactly. Elohim is the name that punishes. Elohim is the gematria hateva, nature. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu appears to people as if he was not nature doing something, when it's HaKadosh Baruch Hu in disguise. But it's also the name that punishes the Reshaim. And the tzaddikim if they made a mistake. Once you have the 15th time, I'm not going to go into it now, but just put it on the side of your head to ask me another time. There were 15 steps between the Azara and the Heichal. I don't know. David HaMelech says 15 Shir Amalos to bring back Avshalom from Gehinna. The 15 has a reason. When you need to raise someone from one world to another, you need 15 steps. Why? We just don't want to go to get sidetracked. So she does this, and it's two ner neshama. And start thinking, whoa, is that a coincidence? Or she No, but she does it again, and she does it every time after each camel. The Torah tells us 2 times, but the Torah tells us she does it after every camel drink, after Eliezer drink. So when that was the original shir I prepared for tonight, but I really wanted to talk about Sara and the moment of Ptira, why he says only a pasuk, what we know only from 1 pasuk. It's tremendous. But anyway, the Zohar goes at length. She knew the yichudim of Kriya Shema. There's a special yichud on the last Kriya Shema a person would say in this world, and how it's hinted, the Zohar says it, and how it's hinted in the pasuk. And from there, how to do it in Kriya Shema Lamita. Because Kriya Shema Lamita, we return the Ruach to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's a form of death, and we have to do the Yichud. So the Yichudim that she made, Sara Imenu, are tremendous. Sorry for that. Are tremendous. But we see them, the commander brings that here, that she did them also, Rivka Imenu. When it says Vatemaher Vate'ar Kada, so now she comes back to the well. No, she was at the well. She brought down her jug. She took some water, put it back on her shoulder, goes to the camels, and now pour it. So she takes it down. Vatemaher Vate'ar Kada. Quickly she pours out her jug. So the command also say these words are extra. So he calculates them. He comes to 1,358. It's a very well-known number, this one. This numbers is the number that explodes the skies, explodes them. No skies remain in front of this number. This number is, and you know it so well, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchusoi Le'olam Vod. If you would know what's attached behind those words, simple value 1,358. No rakia, no sky, nothing stands before those words. Anything where a person is at any time, those words will explode chains, locks, forget it. Yetzer hara, malachama, anything. The power of this, I'm not going to describe it here in this video, you know that. But which shame is it is like, it's mind-boggling. Now, if we add the words that comes after in the pasuk that she rushed, Vatemaher Vateret Kada al Yada, she brought it back to her hand, because don't tell me she put right away she went to get water. No, you have to break down everything. Says the commander HaKadosh equals exactly Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Yosef, Moshe, Aaron, and David. What's behind this? These are the names of the Avos. The Avos had midas. We're talking about the 7 midas of the 7 shepherds of the Bnei Israel. There's only 7, it's not going to be 8. Why? The 8 is for after the time, it's Mashiach. But the 7 is what encompasses the 7 days of the week. Each one has a midah. Sunday for Avraham, Monday for Yitzchak, Wednesday, Tuesday, and so forth. Till Shabbos, David Amelech. That's all. That's life. And she was miskaven to the midah of each one of them. That's why when she was doing bikavana. She was taking it down, like when you give tzedakah. Okay? The kavana of tzedakah is to give like this. You take the money with two hands and you put it in. Why two hands? Because you're doing things with actions also, not only with words. 5 fingers look like a hay. 5 fingers look like a hay. This is my arm, the Vav. This is the tzedakah, the Yud. Once you do this, you're doing with the mitzvah of tzedakah, you mixed up the name of Hashem. Yud tzedakah becomes a tremendous nachas ruach HaKadosh Baruch Hu versus, I put tzedakah now. So once you see that the words in the pasuk are broken down, the Torah intently tells us, this arichus lashon, this extra word, to show us that basically Rivka was doing some kind of actions that showed Eliezer she knew exactly what she was doing. And when we asked at the beginning of the shir why it didn't say Vayhi kasher kilu hagemalim or kasher shasu hagemalim, just make it shorter. The Kamana Kodesh says the limit of chesed in this world is Yudke Vavke times chesed. 26 times 72. That's the maximum of chesed that can be reached in this world. One, which equals 1,872, which is exactly Vayhi kasher kilu hagemalim nishtos. Now, so the Gemara tells us, the possibility how far chesed can go until it's Hashem times chesed. Which is understandable. This is not concept that you cannot understand. It's a concept that makes a lot of sense, that you can always go to reach the level of Hashem, that's the chesed you can do. But if we calculate as the Torah said it, we have fourth, she went to them, back, forth. So there were 10 camels, 1 person. It's 11 moves. Times 2, because the Torah says calculate the back and forth. It's 22 times, like Chav base, we want to go play funky Chav base of the Torah. It's 22 times chesed she did. You know what he calls 22 times chesed? Remember what Rashi said? Rashi said at the beginning that he gave her shnitz midin al yadeha remez le'aseres adibros. Remember? And you remember also what the Moshe David Vali said, that basically he was paying her back for her. So he gave her 1 nose ring because it's gonna get him, and 10 asara mishkal, it's gonna get the 10 animals. The 22 times chesed equals aseres hadibros. In other way, Rashi is explaining that the Torah is made that she was doing her chesed not for reward, not for anything, but only for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You remember I mentioned before that it was 15 times Elohim, 2 times Ner Neshama in her actions. It says 10 times in the pasuk, Vate, Maher, Vatikach, Vate'ar, Vate. What the heck? The only time you're going to see it in the Torah, this, you know where it is? The only time. When Chava ate the fruit. Vatikach, Vatiten, Vatochal, Vatetes, Vata. You know what's Vav, Taf? It's 2 letters, right? Vav and a Taf. What if you put a mem before? What do you get? Mavis. What happened after they ate the fruit? Death came to the world. So the Sam, the Malach HaMaves, put his mem in front by Adam, and this is how death came to the world. He sees her, Eliezer, and he sees, because the Ari said that Sara was the Gilgul of Chava, and she was doing tikkunim for Chava, whatever. Rivka is exactly doing this. She's not doing it for herself. She's not doing it for her own coverage. Tuner neshama, for the chet of Adam and Chava. That's exact. All her actions were intended to make mitzvahs only bischus Adam and Chava to be mesaken. 10 times chesed, vate here for chesed, against 10 times the chet, vate in the chet. Tremendous. And she gives water to 10 camels. And what? 10 commandments. By the way, just to open a parenthesis to show you that there is not a story. Just the midrash by Marasa Machpelah, which we have 18 psukim for buying Marasa Machpelah versus one pasuk and a half about the Misa of Sara. The midrash says the one who learns the kinyan of Marasa Machpelah, it's considered as if he was Mekayem the Aseres Adibros. Oh, again, Aseres Adibros? Yeah, the Midrash says yes. You know why? It's 10 times Beneches in the Parasha. 10, the minyan is 10. 10 is a completion when the Shechina comes. Oh, by Beneches you coming? Yeah. The midrash, another midrash in forgot where it is now. I didn't prepare. I just wanted to show you that sometimes the Torah hints things humongous, mamish, and they go under our nose. We don't pay attention. David HaMelech bought the Goren Arvana. The Goren is where we put the storage, the grain storage of Arvana. He didn't want to build the Beis Hamikdash on a free place from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He bought it. You know what the Midrash says there? It says, the one who learns this, it's like his Mekayim, the Aseres Adibros. What is that? Oh, you don't know why? Because it's a 10 time Arvana Goy. It was a Moiri. 10 times Arvana in the Parasha. So the third place we bought, if you realize, Bnei Israel bought a few places, only 3, Marasa Machpelah, the Mokem HaMikdash, and Shechem. Go check how many times it says Shechem, because now you know the trick, right? So it says 10 times Shechem. But I couldn't find a midrash saying that if you learn the Parasha of Shechem, so, I mean, interestingly, Marasa Machpelah was bought for 400 shekel. The Mokem HaMikdash was bought for 600. And Shechem was bought from 100 kesita. And the Torah repeats it, Fita. Why? It's very interesting. But that was part of another share. Just wanted to show you that, you know, peeling a little bit the onion is permitted, facing the right question, and we see tremendous thing. Aseres Adibros here, what am I learning from here? Now, you take, the Midrash says, okay, so when Eliezer says, Gematria, Aseres Adibros. So they tell you psukim. They tell us psukim in the midrash, without mentioning that this is the gematria of the tithes. The reason of it, it's not clear, but we're gonna see in 2 seconds. I'm finishing on this basically. Why is it so important? Chazal say the The schar of a mitzvah doesn't exist in this world. Schar mitzvah be'alma hadein leika. There's no schar of mitzvah in here. But the schar you have is how you did the mitzvah. This you can have in this world. Vatemaher, the Torah stresses it so much. Equals 651. Oisher hatzlacha. A lot of times people find it's gula, this doesn't work, this doesn't work. What am I supposed to do? Change, don't do nothing, don't do these gulas and waste your time after, and then you be used because they don't work or whatever. The way you do the mitzvah, it's what defines and paves your road in the world, in life. If you do your mitzvah, laxist, I'm not going to show like this, I'm dragging my feet, okay, your life will be, If you do, yes, it's hard, yes, it's snowing, yes, it's cold, but here, why am I going to shul? Because I need to be 10. These 10, like the Aseres Adibros, like all the 10s we've seen, in Kabbalah, we call this a koima shleima, a full height. You can't reach more than 10. This is the full height. So once you have this, you can address Shamayim. Because in Shamayim, there are 10 spheres. And you need to be against that. And you need a bit to fulfill the space. Otherwise, you cannot double. So anyway, as soon as a person does the mitzvah, okay, at the beginning it's hard, but he says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I'm sorry, I'm trying my best, and it's hard. I know that's all Hashem wants. It's going to be hard, but then it's going to be easier and easier, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will help you. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu picks him up. The other proof, Vatarotz Oid. She ran already the first time, but she ran again, and she ran again, and she ran again, and she ran again. Equals 776 Vatarotz Oid. I don't care about you don't remember the number. I just care you remember the point of the midah, what you trigger once you do a mitzvah with some insight. Eloike Avraham, the midah of Avraham. Eloike Yitzchak, Eloike Yaakov. Automatically you catch HaKadosh Baruch Hu on the 3 midas of the Avos. And for sure, if you don't deserve him to respond to you through one midah, he'll respond to you through another midah. So the manner a mitzvah is performed will definitely trigger a response from HaKadosh Baruch Hu to you. You will not receive the schar of the mitzvah in this world, but you will receive the schar of the manner you did the mitzvah. And the schar is already tremendous. The whole week we work, there comes Shabbos and we say, Shabbos Menucha, and then you see Shabbos is not Menucha. So what is it? Why my Shabbos is not what I'm reading in Kalbach's books? The bliss of Shabbos. They had mamish, they were on the cloud. Why not? Because each day of the week has to complete its part. You see, it's a building blocks, the week. Once you build up the 6 days, then Shabbos can come and lie above. If you only build 4 days, then your Shabbos is going to be lower. If it's only 1 day, then it's going to be almost like a weekday. Chas v'shalom. What do I have to do every day in order to have a Shabbos? That's one of the fundamental words of the Kamana HaKadosh all around. Hashem hu ha'eloiki. To always know on each day of the week at a moment, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is God. When we say Elohim has a different meaning that even what happened in nature, because Elohim is a teva, even the dinim, it's HaKadosh Baruch Hu behind it. Anything that happens to me is HaKadosh Baruch Hu behind it. This fills a day to become a stand for Shabbos to be on top of it. Rivka, when she was running, when the pasuk describes it, Vataratz Oid, which we said is 776, it's 6 times Hashem Hu Elohim. Eliezer sees that and becomes nuts. I'm having a Sara here, a Sara Imenu in miniature, but a full-fledged Sara Imenu. He realized she already had Nevi'us. As soon as he drank from her water that she poured him, he came out from Arur to Baruch. That's why he gave her Beka. That's why he gave her the gem, such a big gem. But he made her understand. When do we give Machatzitza shekel? Before Purim. Why? Because we were saved, as it says in the Pasuk. A person will redeem his life with the Machatzitza shekel. So he hinted her that you redeemed my life. You saved me. You did a pidyon nefesh. I'm paying my Machatzitza shekel for it. You understand how far, and now this is why Rashi says this, makes total sense. When a person, Chazal tell us, and I'm finishing on this, when a person that on the 10 commandments, they all fit in one. You know which one? Lo yisachmor. Don't envy. If you don't envy, you will end up doing the other 9. It will become natural and logical. So once a person does chesed, he shows he has no envy. Such a person is fulfilling the mitzvah, the Aseres HaDibros, the Torah, on a very high level. The proof, you take the whole pasuk. The whole pasuk says, "Vayhi that we saw kasher kilu agemalim nishtois." No, it's not this. It's Vayikach Shnei Tzimidim al Yadea Asara Zahav Mishkala. Take the whole thing. We said, now it tells me Aseres HaDibros. We saw already some Gematrias Aseres HaDibros, so I'm not going to shock you if I bring another one Aseres HaDibros, right? But he has one more thing. It's Aseres HaDibros Tal Siyoin. Siyon, there's Yerushalayim. Mitzion v'Yerushalayim. Every time we say Tzion, Yerushalayim. What's Tzion? Tzion is Kodesh HaKadoshim. It's the Spitz when nobody come in. This is the Kedusha. This is Olam HaTorah in the Bina, where the Torah came from. Eliezer hinted her that the way you mekayim the Torah, through the manners you're doing the mitzvahs, is as if the Torah was still in Shamayim, in its Makom, in the Bina, the Olam HaTorah. Nothing has changed, not a comma. And that's the reason. And he told her, I mean, basically, the Shnei Luchos that Rashi said, because he hinted to her, I have a shidduch for you. Why he gave her the 2? Because I have a shidduch for you. The same way the Luchos were written on 2. HaKadosh Baruch Hu could have given us 1 stone with 10 commandments. No, 2, but 2 join. Adam, Chava. Ish, Isha. In order to be Mekayim the Torah, it has to be, so despite the way you're such a tzadekes, you need to get married in order to be able to be Mekayim the mitzvah like the Aseres HaDibros. Shnei Luchos. And Shnei Luchos equals Chai times Adam. A person leaves only when he is like Shnei Luchos. Now we have a whole explanation in Rashi. The main point tonight is the manner we do a mitzvah is what defines our future, is what defines our schar. It's what defines our level and commitment to the Torah and the way we mekayim the Torah. This is what defines our Shabbos, This what defines basically our whole life, because Shabbos is the bracha for the rest of the week. So you can say that the way we mekayim a mitzvah defines our whole life. Have a great Shabbos, each one.